So we're getting lots of hits, and I'll take this opportunity. My website is www.malpassforsenate.com, and I invite everyone to go to the website, join up, and look at the YouTube and other things that are on there.
Let's see, lost my place. I think this is a question really for both of you. It's posed as a question to Carl, but it's a question for both of you. New York is a border state. How do you think we can secure our borders?
I'm never worried about the Canadians. I'm from Buffalo. Okay? We have actually 4 bridges, but 3 of them are active. They cross over into Canada, and there's nothing, especially a lot of American citizens have summer homes over in Canada, and the most disgusting situations occur on weekends. Okay, when those families are trying to come home, and the wife is in the car and she got 3 screaming kids and a dog, and they got to go to a bathroom, and they're stuck on a bridge for 2 hours because our Gestapo has decided, okay, to slow it down. And then when you get down at the base of the bridge, you find out only 4 windows are open instead of the whole 12 of them. All right, and then you look inside the glass window where their office is, and you see them all in there drinking coffee. It's just, I guess it's an illustration of a lack of attitude, proper attitude by people in government service, and we have to bring that back. We have to make them proud of the jobs that they're doing, and make them be a little bit more conscious about really serving the public. Yes, we have a porous border up here in northern New York State. From what I understand, it's very porous, especially on the Indian reservation where they come and go as they please back and forth. We are a border state in that sense. I don't know if that's where our headaches are coming from. I think most of them are probably coming over the bridge from New Jersey. We have an illegal immigrant problem in New York City, and Bloomberg doesn't seem willing to do anything about it, and he doesn't want to attack it from a financial perspective, a social perspective. I mean, it has to be dealt with, and I can assure you we will deal with it.
Just to add, President Obama has been playing golf rather than setting the image of efficiency that we need in order to protect the borders and have an efficient system of controlling them. Carl gave the substantive answer. To protect the border, you need the technology, you need an efficient government, you need decision making, you need the Secretary of ICE, the agency involved, to visit the Canadian border, which it was done only the first time, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago. And so you need Washington to take seriously the border issues on the Canadian border, but much more so on the southern border, which is a crying problem.
Okay, we have about 15 minutes left, and I am going to open up the floor for any questions. Please raise your hand, and I'll select one at a time. Gentleman in the front first.
Yeah, I have a question.
Please keep your questions brief.
Yeah, they will be brief. My question, around this area, we have certain groups of people, not to sound prejudiced or anything, but they're a drain, and they seem to get away with a lot, and they vote liberal all the time. And we have it in Woodbury Commons, and we call it KJ. And they work in Manhattan, work in a high-end area, and to make a long story short, they get all the benefits, always calling to get Social Security, welfare, doctors, and everything else. And we know what's going on, and it's been going on. I'm from Sullivan County. It's going on up there as well. And I just want to know.
They feel it out on Long Island. They feel it all over the area.
Yeah.
And it's a policy that our state has expanded on the federal emergency Medicaid and other social welfare benefit legislation. The feds provide for emergency care, for instance, women are automatically treated, pregnant women are automatically treated for emergency care, whether they're residents or not. Okay, they're eligible for our Medicaid.
Right.
Then New York takes that and they expand it. Right, they take those rules and they add to them.
Right.
Right, and you said you gave the reason there because they vote liberal progressive. Okay, these people will and they eventually will find their way into some legitimacy and vote there. It's going to be a long battle. It's going to be a long battle. But at least we're going to turn the ship in the right direction and challenge the ability for them to stay there and impose themselves on our society.
Politicians pay for those votes through earmarks, and so we have to stop earmarks.
Gentleman in the back, but there.
Yes, for both of you, would the two of you support the repeal of the 17th Amendment?
I'm familiar with that one. So that's the amendment that set up how senators are created by the state legislature versus popular vote, right? And it's created a problem. I'm running against Senator Gillibrand, who is supported by Charlie Rangel, but also the whole Washington establishment, the Senate. And so she can use the money that she gets from that establishment to buy votes around New York State. And that takes power away from, that has physically, or that has moved power to Washington from the state. So, you can wonder, look back at why did they do that? Why did they change? The original founding fathers had the state legislatures choose the senators, and that meant that there was more accountability at the local level for what was being done in Washington. So I think I agree with what Carl said earlier. We need a full upheaval of the way the system operates. We've created a culture of tax and spend and power in Washington, and I think some of the constitutional provisions have been diverted to help that effort, and maybe that's one. I really think we've got to have a fundamental national dialogue on how to stop the out-of-control governments that we're being saddled with.
The lady in the back.
Okay, I have two questions. One of which, do both of you have enough signatures to get your names now on the primary ballot?
I'm on the Republican ballot because, unlike Carl, I went to those county chairs and I talked to them and I shook their hand and I got on the through the Republican convention on the Republican ballot. As far as the taxpayer line, we should have the signatures.
I'm on the Republican ballot because I petitioned my way on, and they didn't challenge the petitions.
Okay.
So we're on. We filed 28,000 signatures.
Okay.
Thank you, Cheryl.
And we're also passing now the taxpayer petition, which is we have to get them collected by this weekend.
Right.
Okay, because they have to be filed next Tuesday. But we know right now that we have sufficient signatures on those petitions, and we're okay.
Knowing that there's going to be both Republicans and Democrats still in Albany and in the Senate, do both of you feel comfortable reaching across the aisle to work with both Republicans and Democrats to bring about all these changes?
Wait, so I'm not sure I am. That sounded like compromise, and what I want to do is bring upheaval, and so that doesn't start with reaching across the aisle. I'm pragmatic. I want to win. We've got to take back our government, and it's going to be working with Democrats that we're going to have to find some like-minded fiscal conservatives that actually want to roll back Washington.
Well, the best thing that would happen is if it's a landslide and everybody gets in that we want to get into, but truth be known, the reality is there's still going to be those people that are opposing.
Okay, this young lady right here.
And education was mentioned before. I'm from either one of you in your respective places you will be. What will you do about the, turning the education back to the parents and breaking the New York State powerful teachers union and, just turning the education to raising the students?